There's that saying, who would you be if you didn't know who you are? And it's a bit trite, a bit hokey, but it has some wisdom within it. The wisdom is that we've been fed so much so that it could be used to disempower us. We've been fed so many things to want so that they could be withheld from us when we needed them most. Our identity is one of these things that has been fed to us so that it could be used against us. And most of us grew up and took it all in, hook, line, and sinker, because our parents and our parents' parents have been brought up in the same system and hadn't yet been exposed to the things that we're currently being exposed to, which are beginning to open our eyes. Your identity is not your own. Your identity was given to you to control you, to restrict you. And most of us know this to an extent. By now, we intuit this. But what is that asking us to do? I think this is where the value of no comes into play. Would you like this? Is this who you are? Are you going to conform to this? And when you're trying to establish who you are, not who they told you you are, no becomes very valuable. No is the beginning of the stop. No is the beginning of the pause. No is the beginning of the, we don't need to rush here, because rushing is what they use to make us have fear, to make us have a knee-jerk reaction, and to commit to something before we've thought it through. No is where we stop. No is where we pause and we take a moment and we consider. And you'll see systems and patterns like this then trying to convince you, oh, but I thought you like this. Don't you want this? And I say, to say no. No, I'm okay. Because this is what they never wanted. They never wanted us to be okay without what they have to sell, without what they have to offer, without what they're proffering. Because if we say no to it, then they lose their leverage over us. You know this if you look around and you're carefully observing everything that's happening in our world. You know this if you've ever been in a narcissistic relationship. The love bombing stage where they feed you everything that they find out that you like, and then when it suits their purposes, they withhold it and withdraw it. And then you realize what a compromised position you find yourself in. But how do we loosen the grip of that pattern, of that system? It's where you start saying no. It's where you have enough within yourself such that you can say no. You say no because you realize that you can do without. You will be okay without. And that sometimes even that pull, even that pain of going without is going to help you become the more you need to be to fully release yourself from the system of control. Saying no, sitting with the withdrawal. This is part of gaining the new perspective. The one where you start to re-identify yourself as who and what you are, actually. Not what you were told you are, not what you've been conditioned and programmed to be, until you are on your knees, fairly begging for things you never needed in the first place because you had been so separated from what you truly were for such a long time. You say no, And you sit with the pain, you sit with the withdrawal, you sit with the silence. And from that point, you start to get curious. You start to wonder, what might I be like? What might I want? If I'm able to go without all these things that were fed to me, what's left? And what potential remains? And I would say, surprise yourself. Because there's a lot of programming that we're not even aware that we're running. They told us who we are. We accepted it. We lived it. And then when we withdraw, we feel at a loss. We don't know where we are. We don't know who we are. And we're aware of that on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, we keep on identifying with the things that we've separated ourselves from. We keep on subconsciously thinking, yeah, but I don't like that. Or I've never enjoyed doing that. Or I've never wanted that. And we forget that once we've made that separation, this is us becoming the new. This is us revealing what was hidden beneath. It's taking off the layers of scum and falsity. And when we get to those layers beneath, then they populate and propagate new news, new us's. So you need to give that a chance. You need to think of things that you've always disliked and give them another chance. Because if you've said no from a true and deep place, and you're willing to put aside the control and the things that they made us believe that we are, if you've really done that, or are really in the process of doing that, then entirely new outcomes are possible for you. You are an entirely new expression of yourself. And you're only limiting yourself by continuing to identify with old wants and lacks and needs and scarcities. If you've put that aside, then you are new. And what comes forth from you is new. And you are yet to discover that. And really, this is the antidote to that hollowness and that emptiness we feel as we mourn lost years, lost time, lost opportunities. But then we forget to open ourselves up to all the possibility. And some of it is so surprising, so joyful. Perhaps you'd never enjoyed dancing. Perhaps you never enjoyed hiking or climbing. And you know that about yourself. And my urgent call to you is stop knowing that about yourself. Don't know that about yourself anymore. Because the truth is that you don't know that. The truth is that you're on the version 2.0 of yourself. And you don't know that version of you. And it's time to discover it. It's time to surprise yourself. It's time to get out there and do some stuff that just might show you something about yourself. And might send you down roads that you didn't know are now part of your abundant and prosperous path. All the things you'd written off, all the things you've said, I'll never do that, I can never do that, they may now be in your future again. I've experienced this myself. Little things, bigger things, because when you change the core, when you're changing the deep, when you're changing the things at a level that you've never changed before, then everything that comes out from that, the patterns are all new. Who would you be if you didn't know who you are? Go find out. Don't limit yourself. Ask the question. Have curiosity. And find a new joy. Find the possibility and potential that was withheld from you that is now absolutely available.